All right, welcome to this explainer. We're diving straight into something I know we've all wondered about. You type a prompt, hit enter, and boom, ChatGPT gives you an answer. But what is actually happening in those few magical seconds? Let's pop the hood and find out. I mean, it almost feels like there's a tiny, super fast team of brilliant writers hidden in your computer just furiously typing away, right? As cool as that sounds, sadly no. So, is it doing some lightning fast Google search in the background? Or maybe just flipping through a massive, infinite library of pre-written answers every time you ask it something? Well, we need to bust this myth right out of the gate. It is not searching at all. It is literally just predicting the next word. That right there is the whole secret behind the magic. Now, I know that sounds way too simple, but think about it like this. Imagine I start singing a song you know. Twinkle, twinkle, little... See? Your brain instantly wanted to fill in the blank. Star. Exactly. Nobody had to sit you down and explain a complex grammatical rule for you to know that. You just knew it because you've heard that exact pattern thousands of times. Let's try another one really quickly. When you hear the words once upon a, your brain doesn't freeze up and run a massive database search. It just naturally predicts it. And honestly, ChatGPT works in a surprisingly similar way. The only difference is, instead of just nursery rhymes, it learned its patterns from a literal ocean of books, articles, and websites.
So if you ask it for the capital of France, it doesn't just grab a complete sentence from a file drawer. It calculates the most likely next word, piece by piece. The capital of France is Paris, one single word at a time.
You're probably wondering, well, how on earth did it get so good at this? The answer is training. Think of it kind of like how a little kid, let's call her Sarah, learns to recognize a dog. She figures it out by seeing hundreds of examples over a long period of time. During this training phase, the AI basically played the world's biggest guessing game millions of times over. It guessed the next word, checked itself against real human text, adjusted its internal math if it was wrong, and reinforced the pattern if it was right. Talk about practice making perfect. And because human language relies heavily on really strict patterns, we say good morning instead of morning good, the AI absorbed our exact tone, our structure, our style. It essentially became a perfect mirror of us. But here's the catch, and this is absolutely crucial. Think of a brilliant mimic who has memorized every cookbook ever written. They can give you a flawless description of a perfectly seared steak, but they've never actually tasted food. The AI can describe things beautifully, but it doesn't actually understand what it's saying. Because it is strictly in the business of predicting the most likely sounding next words, it can sometimes act exactly like that one student who definitely didn't study for the test. It sounds incredibly confident, but it's actually completely wrong. We actually call this flaw a hallucination. The grammar is flawless, it flows beautifully, but the facts are totally fake. This is exactly why you absolutely must verify anything important, like medical, legal, or financial advice, with a real, trusted human source. Even with that quirk, though, it remains unbelievably helpful. And that's all thanks to its massive, incredibly varied data diet. It ingested everything from dense science articles and creative stories to complex computer code and, cooking recipes. So when it shifts seamlessly from solving math problems to writing poetry, it's not because it's a true expert in either of those fields. It's just an absolute master at recognizing the structural patterns of those vastly different subjects. All right, let's quickly sum up the big takeaways from this explainer. It does not search the web in real time. It doesn't have some secret encyclopedia stored away. It definitely doesn't feel or truly understand. It just rapidly, flawlessly predicts the next word. Honestly, I think understanding this simple truth makes the whole technology feel even more staggering. Think about it. Hundreds of millions of people are logging on every single day to use human ingenuity's ultimate pattern prediction engine. But this insanely powerful capability does leave us with a massive, slightly terrifying question. If it can mimic human output this well, is AI actually going to take over our jobs? Well, we are going to dive right into that in our next explainer. You definitely won't want to miss it.